But most of the time, and I've been student myself, so I know what I did. We don't spend purposeful time in the place. We are more involved in other things than what we are supposed to. So in a one day, you won't capture the content of what you do, but if you capture what happens in a day and how busy one multitasking, if they learn that this happens, they come back and try and implement it as possible. Right? And it's a two-way process. It's never many times we send average guys to us. Right? It's a big problem after that. We can't say no to you. We can't now say no to them. So after that, we keep them waiting outside. That's a loss situation.
We'll take these as seeds before I you.
What do you do in a single day? Spend attend the students for one day with that person. Every company would mind spending one salesman here, one executive here to spend a day in the campus. And during that day, he will do what he normally does. Not put on a show for you. It doesn't help you, right? So we can remodel this in a different way.
We will continue discussion. I have a client known as Capital Fortunes. They deal with a certain specific type of work. Investment banking, there are plenty of people. But something in the area of public-private ownership and then regulatory reforms, etc. We require a pool of people who can contribute within, say, 2 months, 3 months of joining. If somewhere between IPE and us, we can develop their content, and these people can walk in, I think industry will welcome.
Sure.
So we'll be, and they may also are partners in this particular program that we are in. I think there is scope for everyone to join hands and make it happen for the good of students, for the good of society, for the good of business, for the good of everything that is happening. So keep this in the back of your mind, your observation. After that, we'll go into the second topic, which is enhancing employability and how can we bring IP and the employer organizations closer.
Everybody business schools, not only to business schools, but it is applicable to the many of the other professions also. Whether you take the medicine, agriculture, or whatever you are taking. Whatever we have learned in the schools, they are not really useful when we go to the jobs. This is there everywhere. And we fully agree with you that the partnerships are important in today's context. It's a government-private partnership going on well, and like that, we also want the industrial and academic partnership. And we all, I think, after hearing from all our faculty and from you, we all agree for that. Only thing, modalities we have to work for, our best. And coming to the next point in context of our own institution, and 40% of our time they are spending with the industrial experts. 2 months they are spending in the summer internship. Every week, 1 day they are spending and listening to the experts, visiting to the institute with the special lectures, and they are sharing their experiences with our students. Out of 5 days in a week, 1 day they are spending only for this purpose. And main complaint of our faculty is that they could not complete their portion because they are attending more of these activities than the regular syllabus and the classroom teaching. That is the main complaint. Coming to the aspect of their exposure in other ways also, they conduct summaries, that is conferences. Internally they make the competition among themselves on certain selected topics, and now that is 1 month they are completely spending on that, on the core subjects. And national event they conduct on their own, they get exposed to the industry. Like that, almost 40% they are spending on that. And coming to the next point, faculty, here 40% of us, we have worked only in the industry. We have little of the teaching experience and more of the industrial experience. Therefore, through that also they are getting a lot of success stories and failures and case studies. Like that they are getting benefit out of this kind of a faculty available in this institute. And as Shastri Sir rightly mentioned today, Motorola representative has come. He has given an offer that the student can come there, they can learn while learning. So that also we are encouraging. Our director is the first person we accept that kind of proposals which are coming. Therefore, we are
In fact, we must put them at 24-hour pressure than what they should do in 12 hours to do in 24 hours. That's what distinguishes good institutions from not the good. Right? Don't they will be guilty that they are not completing the work. It's not your job to complete, it's their job to complete. Simple pressure. If I was a student, I would not accept it, but on this side, it's easy for me.
We asked what is the reason of attrition. Some of the employees say that, my company did not give me the career planning and career path. If you ask the same thing to the students, they say that the onus of the responsibility of the learning while they are students is with the teachers. And once they come into the organizations, they say that the organization is responsible for their career growth. No, it's the self-responsibility of the student while they are students to learn. And also once they enter into the organization, by sheer virtue of their performance, they will grow. I think the onus has to be shifted to the learner more. And therefore,
What you're saying is good.
Make statements that could be mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
They should be more in the institution, they also carry responsibility. We should now become comrades in arms in terms of ensuring A, industry needs a helmet, B, the boys and girls are well groomed, and the faculty go an extra mile in terms of making it happen, along with the industry support. I think that's where we have to converge. After all, we were also students sitting like that, waiting one day when we will get selected in some company, or today we are sitting on the other side and we cannot come to the... He came to me for mentoring. I stood by you. Even after 15 years of service, one day he came to me. 20 yourself. You ask them, they tell you what they do. They are sitting here. And suddenly they woke up to say, my journey is something different today. And no match to them intellectually, I swear. Me and Mishaji, we belong to one class. Some honestness, some wish to do good things. That's it. He has at least intellect. I don't have that also. The thing is,
Today he's saying all the truth, please listen.
the problem is IPE also for me. Mr. Shastri speaks only truth is something they find difficult. But then truth like that is ultimate reality. If you want to cut it, you can ask cut it. It will hit you. So the fundamental truth I would like to put before the students and then request about the Sridhar and Ramil Ramakrishnan and everybody. Don't ever try to be a meteor. Meteors disappear. So therefore be practical, Ardi, and initially you be like the hare and tortoise. Right? Be tortoise. But then in the long run you make it. All of us have started. Like that, struggle. But we made it. We made it in spite of lack of intelligence, in spite of lack of so many other things. Because deep within there are other virtues which I would like them to throw it up. What makes you, not only for employability, but for sustained long-term success?
You should allow one or two students to speak.
Yeah, I said the students also.
Like great ideas.
Professor, you are not listening to me. I said students this time around they will join.
Because I'm your student, sir. That's
I think we will take off from what Dr. Shastri said. When he says I'm just somebody intellectual than him, and he probably makes more money than I do. What does that mean?
I'm agreeing to that. Yes.
The institute spends more time giving knowledge. They should be giving more time to knowledge. It's easy to teach. You have to give a lecture, use up classwork, then finish. Whereas you want behavioral change. Like we talk about thinking through skills, for example, or problem solving, or ability to sustain under tremendous pressure, still continue to work and deliver results. These are all behavioral traits. I think my philosophy, if you want to bring employability to campuses, 1 year of knowledge is more than enough. The second year should be entirely behavioral. I have not come across in our company or any other company where people have been sacked because they didn't know something. They were sacked because they knew, they didn't do it. Right? So I think the entire emphasis, if you shift the second year, first year for knowledge, second year for doing, I think that's a commencement of it.
Like our traditional business, and more anything. At the graduate level, I think we still have to be more generic before we go to some kind of specialization.
And just refer to two institutes on how to take the IIT exam, which was intended to test the raw intelligence or the generic intelligence and get the best of the grade into the IITs. But now the whole thing had come to the raw intelligence and the generic skills so that they will not only become good technicians and technocrats, they can become good human beings, good managers, and good entrepreneurs who can create a positive impact. So we are talking about an orbit or 2 orbits higher than having only technocrats coming up in the IIT stream. And therefore the reference back to the generic skills, focus on the behavioral skills as Murali was expounding very clearly. It's very, very important. The first thing we ask anybody who's coming to an interview is, why don't you please introduce yourself or tell me something about yourself. But 99% of the times, what we get answers is a repeat of my name is so and so, I am born in so and so village, my date of birth, and all the census information, plus what is the college he has passed out, and how many marks he has got, which is there on the paper. So what we look at this opportunity is come out and then give us, even on our prompt, that tell me something special about yourself. What are the qualities? What do you like? What are the passions? And very often we won't find them. And that's where we differentiate between the kind of the effectiveness we talk about in behavioral grooming.
I'll go to the students, but before you respond, anybody here who has read the Kapras, any of the books from Uncommon Wisdom to Turning Point 2, is utmost a handmade, but never the made. It cannot supplant your basic wisdom for a qualitative thinking. So he talked about the world in physics for a long time believed that this conceived universe is a summation of parts. Today the physics has revised this paradigm into a different way. They said it is a whole comprising parts plus. Now what is that plus? Is what the continuing discoveries and inventions and efforts are. See, it looks very simple. All the parts making of the whole, and the whole making of the parts plus, and that parts plus is what nobody is able to understand. Parts itself we are not understood. Organizations are like this. Organizations. So, what Prasad and everybody here, the panel, is suggesting to you, how do you develop this ability beyond just the ability for good quantitative thinking and all those subjects? Something more to it, and what is that? So, how would you like to do it?
Just implied in organizations. So, what as a students that we need to learn so that we can be readily employable. 95% of the thing what we as students we need to learn.
I'll go to an employee like Gupta sir.
I feel it's a question of your the attitude. Once you go with a positive attitude and because normally we come across, it's my experience that most of the people do have a cash fixation rather than eagerness for earning in the beginning itself. Sometimes I also say you have the earning for earning, but also for learning. So have that, and definitely it's a good amount of things. And if somebody with the MBA marketing would like to take a project with me, I can right now offer a project also.
If I have to answer your question, right? It reflects in the way you walk, the way you dress, the way you talk. If you have faith in yourself, you don't need recognition. I can assure you that much. You don't have faith in yourself. You think many times we ask companies, which college are you studying? I am Osmania University. They are not going to talk the college they come from, but it reflects on them. It doesn't matter which college you study from. You can be from IIM, IPE. If somebody goes today and you do an outstanding job, they'll ask you which IIM from. It is good for you or good for IIM? It reflects on IIM, but you are from IPE. Right? So reflect that in yourself. And you will be proud of which institution you become. You must be proud. And that must come from knowledge. You read the Economic Times or any publication, business line, I see 200 business lines lying outside somewhere, 100 not open so far. Right? Please open and read. That's phenomenal analysis of each other. You must read, reflect, have your own view. Don't go by the view. That's like you, somebody is writing that. And we don't know that view is right. Have a different view. And then have a debate.
You ask the same question to everyone. Which are the subjects which are the most useful on the job? Most of them said basics of accounting, basics of finance, basics of marketing, and basics of IT. Not first year courses. Nobody mentioned the second year course. This is what I've been saying, the same thing. You need to understand accounting better than a chartered accountant. You should not do that. You don't understand the engineers, especially find it difficult to understand finance. So, that's what I said. All of them put only the first year courses and fundamentals on which they build their job. Second year courses we got specialization. More often than not, is only for fancy discussion. We didn't contribute.
Please remember one thing, what Sridhar was saying, and I'll carry it further. As part of your employability, one is the type of knowledge and the type of certificate you will get from IPE or whatever. But they are only passports. They do not carry the visa stamp of the organization where you want to enter. Now, to get that visa stamp, what the organization will certainly look for, and for your long-term sustained success, what we are lacking today, there is no character that people are bringing into the positions. We recruit you, and you come with a fudged CV. Right from beginning, day one, parents also are culpable in this bloody exercise that is happening in this country. I have survived the IT industry. But for that, I don't think I would have survived the IT industry. He could not survive even 3 months. I survived 4 years. and I am yet connected with the IT industry. Honestly, this is one thing. And where do we get the character? That's when we mount the death of a great soldier. I am very passionate in putting it across because we are greatly in shortage of leadership material in organizations. We have great people, no problem. Yes, sir, I am handing over. That's everybody. So therefore, one should have a kind of a young spirit. Why not? The point that I am making, where from you get the character? And that's what Sridhar is saying it within your unwitting as one of the intangible assets you must develop in your life. Your verbal brilliance, your knowledge brilliance, all those things will take your day point. But the day your intellectual honesty is in question, you will not earn the respect of the people around you and you start losing. I want to hammer this point 100 times.
I wanted to add, I wanted to say a little not only that, he rushed, but he went to see his son. He was critical and he wanted blood. But then he said that I'll go and I'll come back. But he never came. But then I think I take when you ask 5%, what is important is not the 5%. What is important is what 95% should ignore. Suppose your house side is there, she is cooking rice for you. She doesn't feel bored with you. She just goes and takes out things which are not there. Taking out things which are irrelevant. That's what is our digestive system. All that we eat, doesn't go in the bloodstream. So understand how that 95% of Americans understand what we do and what. You must know that. And if you know that 95% is irrelevant, I think the purpose of education is served.
But sir, you are begging the question. We are in fast food, so then we are not cooking at home. So once you are in the fast food business, everything is fast track learning. In 30 days this one, in 15 days this one, in 2 days this one, and 3 hours in negotiation skills, in 1 hour communication skill, in 5 minutes fudging skills. Because they masters everything else.
With regard to employability, some of the other can reproduce in these courses and exams. The third point which I thought is this institute has adopted a mentoring system. Let me talk about my own thing. 5 students are related to me, and on day 1 when they report to me, let me be honest, they may not accept it. 2 are average, 2 are below average, 1 is totally bottom most. And what we see in the last 2.5 months is there 2 of them are willing to learn, move forward. 2 of them just still crawling. 1 of them doesn't want to change anything. He is still ready. In spite of the best efforts they have given. And we are only markers beyond which we can't run. They have to run. We can only show the path in which they have to run. And the amount of effort which is required, the student community is not.
It's happens actually. The guy doesn't change in the next 1 month of joining IPE or Indian institution. It's because he has carried the institution along with him from his days of school or what. Right. Now it's just happening because we are getting the guys inside system, inside the management institution on a basis of knowledge. We're testing him on multiple choice and whatever. I'm getting into the system, he's good in terms of his knowledge of current affairs, GK or some of those subjects which are tested.
Or they have a crack. Nowadays they all have crack. They know how to crack the IIT exam or the IIM exam.
We do that. Yeah, that's all.
That's
But when you
what can
get him into the industry, actually you want him to be coming with good attitude. So there's a mismatch. There's a disconnect actually. Now that disconnect actually is the responsibility of the faculty or the institution along with the industry to actually cover it up or do something on it. This is one thing. Secondly, I was actually wondering, we are talking eloquently about the mismatch between expectations of the industry and what the academy is offering. Actually, I don't think there is something greatly wrong about it. Let's look at it from a different angle altogether. Maybe there will be something which is functionally different, which is very beneficial to organizations. Today, the irony is that in organizations who want change, once the guys come into the system, 10 years they work, 15 years they work, you want them to think differently. But when you go to institutions, you want students who think like the organization. Now, can you get the disconnect again? Now, the point I want to actually give a trigger to the students over there. Whenever we see the students, they are being told, tutored institutions. With the IPE or IPE, yesterday I was saying with IPE students, same thing happening with them too. They are being tutored that you have to align with the organization. But how is it? They have not even worked with the organization. They are being told to align. It's like being told theoretically you should swim. They have not swum. Right? So, A is they become different when they come to the institutions. They are trying to be the best possible